2, 3. It's the
Father
Son Podcast.
Podcast.
Yay! Finally. Okay. Hello, anybody listening? So, first episode, Dad. How do you feel?
A mite nervous.
Okay. Well, so this one, we do it it's going to be uploaded every Tuesday, but of course record earlier because editing stuff. So today we shall be doing, it's called the Urban Dictionary game, where we have a bunch of words and then we've got to try and guess. So I guess I will go first. So I found some really fabulous looking some fabulous words. So you got to guess, and if you get close, you get a point. And first, I don't know, we'll just do it and see how it goes. Okay. So your first word is transfuse.
Okay, it's used typically for changing giving someone a fresh amount of blood from the outside. Particularly if they've lost blood.
Nope. It is to pour liquid out of one vessel into another to transfer by pouring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never knew that either. It's an interesting one. Transfuse. Okay, your turn.
My turn. Quail.
It's a type of bird that lives on the ground, isn't it?
Yes, the small brown birds. Yes, and there's also another meaning for quail, which is to lose courage, to be afraid.
Oh yeah, like quail in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that one. Okay, this one's overcrow. Overcrow.
Overcrow. Never heard of it.
Dad, this is why you don't use a dictionary and you use Google. This is pure.
No idea.
Because you're in the which generation? Boomer generation. And I'm generation
Baby boomers.
Z. Generation Z is the best. Okay, your turn. Because
what is a peddler? Or who or what is a peddler?
Is it like
Pedlar?
I'm gonna guess that person throws pebbles at people's windows.
No.
Oh, because it's not. I don't know. What is it?
Someone who goes around the countryside selling trinkets and little items for sale.
I'm guessing that's from Britain because I've never heard that here.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, this one's an interesting one. Trump stamp.
Is that one word or two words?
I think it's two. One word. It's a fabulous word. Trump stamp. I think it's an amazing word. I want to use it from now on end. I'm going to call everyone a Trump stand.
Is it used for a
Stamp.
for holding it?
Trump stamp.
Trump stamp.
You're a Trump stamp, Dad.
No, I don't know. What's that one?
You got to guess.
Someone who helps someone playing a trumpet by standing on the ground.
You are so far off. I'm sorry. Someone who wears an obvious hairpiece. Because Trump's hair is fake, apparently.
Oh.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It's probably not a very important conspiracy theory, considering.
Okay.
Do you think Trump's hair is real? I think Trump's hair is real. Because I saw.
It may be real, but it looks weird.
It looks fake. I did saw in the news that there was this kid. He lifted up this kid to make him feel his hair at a campaign rally a year ago now. If I ever ran for president, I wouldn't let someone touch my hair. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What would you do? Okay, your turn. Yeah.
Ramshackle.
Oh, is it ramshackle? Will it be like? I feel like this is like a pirate, like what a pirate would do, sort of thing. Adjust the microphone. Is it? I feel like I've heard this from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know, some type of jury. So like they board a ship and take the jury. I have no idea.
No, it's a description of something that's like a house that's really been built on by successive people, and it's all disorganised and higgledy-piggledy, and
Like our house.
no, it's not. It's
Like
sort
a
of,
mess.
it's
Like
sort of,
our room.
it's kind of run down, and it's had pieces added on, and it's not. It's not all
Oh.
built with one plan.
Oh yeah. Some failure.
I think something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Here's another interesting one. Backseat buyer.
Backseat
What is a
buyer.
backseat buyer?
Someone who buys a car without having driven it and just sitting in the back seat.
You know, I would think that too, but no, it's a person who gets excited over other people's future or current purchases.
Oh.
So it goes, oh, I'm such a backseat buyer. I really want to help this guy buy his new car or something like that. Someone who I don't know why you want to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Why would you want
Yeah.
to join someone else and buy something?
Yeah.
Your word, what is your fabulous, informative word that you have?
This one I'm sure you won't get. Quincunx.
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 Quinquunx.
Something like that. Yeah.
A person who writes random words in a dictionary because that's their job.
Close, but no cigar.
I hope you don't have a cigar because that's bad. Don't smoke that. That's really inappropriate. I hope you don't smoke.
Yeah. In fact, it's not close.
Oh.
It's a pattern of the four corners of a square having like a circle in the position of the corners, and then one corner in the middle, one circle in the middle, such as on a dice. You know, the number 5,
Yeah.
on a dice face of a dice is a quincunx, the five with the four corners and the one in the middle.
There's a word for that.
Afraid so.
Oh, look at those quinquunks on the dice. It looks so impressive.
Yeah. So
Gee,
there you go.
that person is define action. Interesting.
The quin means 5 anyway, if that's any
Quin.
help.
Oh, is that like Latin?
Like quins, when you have quintuplets, that's 5.
Well, I
Like
hope no
kid.
one's had a quintuplet. That would be horrifying.
Yeah, some people have had quintuplets
In one.
in one birth.
Oh, that sounds horrible. I feel sorry for the wife.
Yeah, or the mother.
Okay. I found probably a word you've probably used.
Yeah.
Do you know the definition of supposedly?
Supposedly.
Yeah. It's a
Uh,
word.
yes.
Do you know the definition?
Well, I can make a rough guess. It means that according to what other people think, that might be true. And so I'm saying that other people think that it's true, and it may be true.
Oh wow. Wrong. Yeah. Capable of being conjectured or imagined.
Oh, okay. Conjectured.
Yeah. I bet you didn't know that.
Yes, you're right.
Oh yeah, well yeah. What's your informative word?
Another word? Pix, P-Y-X.
A pick.
Pix, P-Y-X.
P-Y-X. Like a pixie.
No,
Like a pix, a mining pix.
no.
Is it like
You
someone
give
that picks their nose in public?
in? No, do you give in?
Is it when a cave gives in?
No, it's like a little receptacle, little case,
What?
where you can keep the communion bread that's been kept over for another time, or it can be a little place to hold coins that have been made, just sample pieces of coins.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Little container.
I'm sure pastors would know that word, but I've never, ever heard of it. Actually, when I went to school, we went to the Lutheran church and they were like show us the case with crackers and wine. I think it was actually wine. I can't remember if it was wine or grape juice. I think it was wine. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, well I have no more words because I only got 5, but I think you've got more, so I will have some more cracks.
All right. Pastoral, which is pastoral with an E on the end.
Like a bunch of pastors,
Uh,
like 5 pastors in a row.
no, afraid not.
Is it like Italian pastors making pasta?
No, not that either. But pastoral normally means like
Is that chorale?
pastoral normally means something to do with the countryside, like where you might have sheep in pasture in the countryside. And but a pastoral with an E on the end is a piece of music or musical composition which kind of just is meant to remind you or give you thoughts about a pastoral scene, I think.
So it's like a.
Piece of music.
Oh, so it's just a piece of music. Oh. Pastoral.
Yeah,
I want to listen to a pastoral
yeah,
on iTunes.
yeah.
Okay. What's your next word? You have a crack at?
I've got a couple more. Probably that's enough. This one you'll never get.
Oh.
Rangatina.
Rangatina.
Sorry, rangatira.
Rangatira. I rangatira you yesterday, but you didn't answer.
No,
Is it orangutan? Anything to do with orangutans?
no. It's a person.
Oh, it's a person that works with orangutans at a zoo.
Nope. It's like a Maori chief.
It's Maori chief.
Maori chief.
Oh, like in New Zealand?
Yes, yes.
So, there's this Disney movie called Moana, whatever. And it's about the Polynesian culture. I haven't seen it because I want to see Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm so excited. Any other words, or you given up?
Oh, maybe one more.
Oh yeah.
Juxtapose.
Just suppose.
Juxtapose.
Juxtapose.
Yeah.
I juxtapose. I really don't know what that word is.
It's, I put it in there because it's the last word under J in my Macquarie dictionary.
I used an Aussie dictionary. I looked up a Google dictionary. Juxtapose. When a blind gets stuck when you're trying to open it, I have really no idea.
No, it's putting two things side by side on a table or
Juxtapose.
juxtapose or on a page.
Juxtapose.
Yeah.
So, like, if I got 2 laptops,
And put them on the table next side by side.
I just suppose there.
They'll be juxtaposed.
I tried to make a pun, but it didn't work out very well,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So,
Alright, that's probably enough from me.
next we shall be talking about global languages, and say the whole world decided to have a referendum on to have a global language,
Yeah, yes.
but that wouldn't happen because there's so many dictatorships. So let's just say the dictator had 1 vote.
Yes.
Anyway, what would that global language be? Because you're a linguist, so it'll be interesting to hear your opinion on what it would be.
What a global language would
If it
should,
could happen.
could or should be.
Oh, yeah, because, like, it probably will never happen, but
Mm.
I have one language that I think will be a great language, and you have. Do you have any idea?
Yes. Well,
Okay, well you go first.
yes.
You explain your global reasoning.
All right. So, if the world decided to go ahead with having one world language or global language, it has been. The idea had gone before, and some linguists came up with a language called Esperanto, which was meant to be an international language. anyone could learn and then communicate with speakers of other languages. But the problem is it's not a language that's spoken.
Actually, sorry to interrupt. I have researched this language because I have to do some researching
Yeah,
because I'm not a linguist, and only 2 million people speak it.
yeah.
And funnily enough, it's in China and Hungary. China and Hungary are the only two countries that has some sort of education on you can learn Esperanto.
Is that
So
right?
2 million
Yeah.
people, one from China, some from China, some from Hungary, have learnt this language.
Mm.
Not very international because only 2 million people.
2 million. Well, it's an impressive start, but the problem is it's not anyone's first language. No, it's don't have native speakers of the language.
No, that's true.
So what I'm proposing, therefore, is that we need to choose an existing language in the world, and it's probably a good idea to have a language which is already got some spread across penetration into other continents. And the English having the most penetration onto any across the world's continents might be a good candidate.
There's only one problem,
Yeah.
is that English is one of the hardest languages to learn.
Yes, that's a good point. Now, my other point was that it should be everyone, as many people as possible, should be made to learn a second language, right? So, it's justice for all that everyone has to learn in their schools a second language, and so that's one of my proposals, is to get the most people learning the second language as possible in the world. And because I also mentioned English as a candidate, but a lot of people already speak English, right?
Yeah, a lot
So
of
it
people
wouldn't be
learn
fair. It wouldn't be fair if all the English speakers didn't have to learn the second language. But my proposal is, since English has actually got a variety of English, there's not just one English. There's Oxford English, and there's Australian English, and
American English,
American English.
English English.
I propose a language which is very well documented, but is not got a huge number of speakers. So everyone has to learn this one, including the big speakers of Englishes.
Yes.
So and therefore, and coming to looking at the world map, I could see Australia is very strategically placed amongst all the continents of the world. That it might be Australian English might fit the bill.
Well, they'll have to learn not to open their mouths properly when they speak.
Yeah, well, yes.
Well, when I did research, I considered the same thing. It should be a language that not many people have known. And so I why don't we learn either the most difficult or the easiest language to learn? So I looked at these African languages with clicking, and I had to go at it, and I figured, yeah, I shouldn't let anyone else go through that pain. So I propose that we all learn Dutch.
Oh, Dutch, not.
The reason I chose Dutch is because it's the easiest language to learn. It's incredibly similar to a lot of Germanic languages. The English language and the countries surrounding it are very similar to Dutch. Dutch is quite easy to learn for many people, except for everyone in Asia. And apparently, I looked on these websites, and it said you get 23 million friends when you learn Dutch. So, if you want 23 million friends, go learn Dutch.
Oh.
And,
Yeah.
but in considering this, even though Dutch is easy, I thought it's pretty much impossible for the world to speak one language, as it will cause so many problems. So I thought, why don't we break it down into continents? And why don't we think what language each continent should speak? So I only managed to do three continents with what language, and that was Oceania. Oceania mainly is English speaking, except for the native Papua New Guinea and indigenous languages. So I thought Oceania would be English. Antarctica can be Esperanto, because all the scientists and stuff live there. And South America can be Spanish, because most Portuguese people in Brazil know Spanish already. So that's my proposal, that every continent have their own unique language. And then I thought Asia. There's so many countries in Asia. So I decided to split it up with the Middle East, and the Middle East being Arabic. Only problem is Israel and some other countries probably won't be happy, but that's majority speaking. So what is left is Europe, Africa, Asia, and North America can be English, because they already speak English there. So what do you think, Dad, should be Asia's language?
Asia's language, right. Well, of course, if you go for the majority rules, it'd have to be Mandarin, but you're not going to get some very happy Koreans and Japanese.
And Indians.
And not to mention Indians.
Afghans.
So I think maybe we should just go for an ancient language. Everyone has to learn Sanskrit.
What's that?
That's an ancient, very old Indo-Indian language.
Well, I didn't think that way. I thought, why not do a language that all learning already, which is English? They'll be probably happy, because there won't be any of the other languages. And almost most of Asia, apart from like the poor areas, are already learning English as a second language, because it's so like widely enforced, not enforced, but they all want to learn English and move to America or something. So I thought, well, English, apart from the far right Muslims who probably not very amused having a Western language there, but I thought Asia would probably have the best English. And what do you think on that?
Well, you could go for Singapore English.
I think that'd be
Singapore
easy.
is very central.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we could live with that. Or Dutch, because Indonesian.
Oh yeah.
Or Portuguese, because Macau. That's Portuguese. You know? Who knows? Okay, so I think Asia would have English. So what do you think Europe would have? Another diverse continent of languages.
I think English would be, after Brexit, English might be unpopular. So you'd probably give the French a turn by having...
what would the Germans say about this?
they would say 9, but...
Or the Russians.
That's right. So
or the Romanians.
Europe is just about impossible to get an agreement.
Yeah.
So...
everything.
Well, unless you get them all to learn Esperanto.
Well, yeah, because I suggested they make up a new language called Swedish. Because Sweden already has like the Geneva Convention, the Palace of Nations or something. So why not learn Swedish? Because Sweden is like the peace capital of the world and capital of the EU, I think. But the main base of the EU. So with Europe having to learn, I don't know, what do you think? Esperanto or Swedish? Have you heard the Swedish language?
Yeah, well, you could go for either.
But then again, with Europe, most Europeans knowing several different languages, I guess it can't hurt them to learn both of them. So. And their own native language.
Yeah, give them an extra language to learn.
Because they already know the languages are quite similar, so like I guess they'll all learn their native language and then either Swedish or Esperanto, I guess. But of course, I don't think any of this will actually happen because it's impossible, and the Russians will disagree, and Germans will disagree, and the Swedish, and the Finnish, and some other person, and the Greek will disagree, and everyone will disagree.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where Turkey is, but Turkey can have their own language because they're in the middle of continents, so they can just be there. So what do you think Africa would be? Because none of them really know much English.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of Commonwealth countries would have English there,
Yes,
and a lot of
French and Dutch
colonies
and
will be
Portuguese.
yes. So you could pick one of those big European languages.
Because
Or you
they
could
aren't they aren't so patriotic as the Europeans of that language because it's not really theirs.
Or you could pick a major African language.
Like Afrikaans or Zimbabwe,
You could pick
Egyptian.
KwaZulu or Xhosa language, or you could pick a northern one, which might be Ethiopian or
Oh, we have to pick one. What do you think? Because I think Afrikaans is the majority, but that's in the south.
Yeah.
Apparently the reason why Africa is so diverse is because so many different climates and so many different tribes and languages. It's a bit like Central Australia, hundreds of languages.
Yes, so we could make everyone learn a click language and go for Xhosa.
How's that? That's our language.
Yeah.
Well, I think Afrikaans probably would be a good language.
Yeah, it would be good for the
South Africa.
similar to Dutch. So
It'd be good for the Portuguese people. Actually, is Portuguese and Dutch similar? I don't think so.
no.
Dutch is similar to English, but not Portuguese.
Yes, that's right.
And Dutch is sort of similar to French, because English is sort of similar to French. So, there we have it. North America English, South America Spanish, Antarctica Esperanto, just for fun, because no one really cares. Oceania English and Asia English,
Singapore English.
or Singapore English, because they want Singaporean English. What was the other? I can't remember. Middle East Arabic would probably wouldn't go down well, but still, I think most of them would know it. And Europe learning Swedish/Esperanto/native language because they already know each languages. And that's about all the continents, isn't it?
Africa.
And Africa would be Afrikaans. I think would be a good language, don't you think?
Not a bad
But
compromise.
what would Mars, if everyone landed on Mars, what would Mars speak?
What would they speak?
What would the Marians speak?
Uh,
I guess whoever gets there first. What does the moon speak? American?
well,
Russian.
they got there first, so
But the Russians won't. But
could
no
be.
one lives there, so why don't they just make up a new language? Moonian.
Well, they could speak Mandarin.
Good one, Dad. Well, that is all, I guess, for the podcast. Don't know what we're doing next week. Hopefully something good. Well, should be. See you next Tuesday. Boy.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Je suis je suis devil's Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah.